Sonia, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Louis. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, do I have an echo or no?
Yes, we do have an echo.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I'll try to do the presentation without the echo, I hope.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna mute until it's my items then.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Present.
Councilmember Africa Luna Carrasco. Councilmember Jose Ponce.
Present.
Councilmember Matias Rosales.
Present.
Councilmember Gloria Torres. Present. Vice Mayor Mario Buchanan Jr.
Present.
Mayor Gerardo Sanchez.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and go with the first item. Item number 2A, discussion possible action staff and all regarding matters regarding placement of the International Peace Pole to be donated by the San Luis Rotary, Frontera Rotary Club. Mr. Galaviz, or who in this?
Yes, Mayor, I am here.
Yes, perfect.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. Today, I'd like to present to you a project that not just the San Luis Rotary, but also the clubs from Yuma, Somerton, and San Luis would like to dedicate a peace pole in San Luis. This is an international project that Rotary has taken on and to symbolize peace in our communities and in our nation and also in our neighbors. And so District 5500, which is combines all these clubs in the Southwest, would like to donate the peace pole that would sit on Main Street, symbolizing peace, like I mentioned, in our community. This would be located next to where our future projected signage, sign or letters for San Luis. And so we thought that would be a great fit, but I wanted to bring it up to mayor and council and wanted to see if there was any different thoughts, but that was the idea.
That's a good concept. I like it. That's good. Any comments or concerns from council? No, sir.
Like the idea.
Proceed, Mr. Galevis. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 2B, discussion possible directing staff in all matters regarding the purchase and installation of decorative lights on Main Street. Mr. Galevis.
Yes, again, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. We have been looking at how we can improve our Main Street. Been talking to staff, and we have some events that we want to have programmed for this fiscal year. And so if you see on the pictures, we would like council, mayor and council, if we can move forward this project. This would be decorating Main Street from roundabout to roundabout, providing lights, aesthetics to the downtown, and making it a little bit more lively. We're hoping that this will be more welcoming in the evenings and bring a different perspective to Main Street. So I would, if mayor and council had any comments or recommendations, we would like to move forward. I think this would give, like I said, beautify Main Street, especially with the holiday seasons coming up. I think this is inviting, and we think that this would also support, the local business owners in the area, seeing that the city is committing to help bring people to downtown.
Great idea. I think we should have done this a long time ago. So no, that's good. That's very good. And it's especially the Christmas coming along and the celebrations there, the Founders Day. I think it's a great idea. Thank you, Mr. Galevis. Any questions or concerns on council? No, sir.
I have a question. So
Please.
are these gonna be installed all the time or just through like the season or what?
So our thought is Councilman Cabrera is having them year long, but at the same time, doing different colors if possible in the future, for different holidays, different celebrations. But for now, we'd like to aesthetically try to make Main Street look more inviting. But
Perfect.
that is the future plan.
Thank you.
Any more questions or concerns? No. Perfect. Proceed, Mr. Galevis.
Thank you.
Item number 2C, discussion of also directing staff in all matters regarding order number 2022-11, order of the mayor and city council of San Luis, Arizona, adopting the city of San Luis use of city vehicles policy, repealing conflicting provisions and providing for severability. Maria.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the council. Maria Sabori, Risk Management. Adela is currently out, but she's available through Zoom for any questions as well. Staff would like to propose the implementation of a vehicle use personnel policy. Currently, the city does not have a written policy in place that can assist with establishing standard procedures for the city of San Luis employees or any authorized personnel who are assigned or use city-owned or leased vehicles. The personnel policy is intended to set standard procedures to help ensure the safety and well-being of city employees, facilitate the efficient and effective use of city resources, and minimize the city's exposure to liability, and monitor the use of city vehicles. Some important points of this policy that we recommend implementing are as follows. For those positions where driving is a normal part of the regular duties, the city would like to obtain motor vehicle records on an annual basis that is currently not being implemented.
Mhm.
Also recommend implementing driving behavior standards, prevention of distracted driving standards, personal use standards and procedures, operational safety requirements and procedures, vehicle condition requirements and procedures, traffic citation, accident and damage reporting processes,
Mhm.
and post-accident drug and alcohol testing procedures as well. We have reviewed and compared policies from other municipalities, and it's pretty standard compared to, I think we looked at 5 other municipalities.
Okay.
And also, we met with department directors that have a bigger fleet, which are Public Works, Fire, PD, and Parks, and obtained their recommendations and their input regarding the policy. And we also ran the policy through our risk pool attorney. And staff would like to request council's direction and recommendation.
So you compared other 5 other municipalities and
Yes.
the standard was that? Okay.
Mhm.
No, I think we need to do that. I think it needed to happen. I think we do have a procedure, but I think it needed reviewing, and I appreciate that. And so it's always good to compare what other municipalities are doing. And it is the norm. Okay, I have no problem. I have no questions. Any questions or concerns from council?
Maria, does the policy establish an unauthorized examples, or like what is considered unauthorized?
Unauthorized use for
Yeah.
personal use. There is a section under personal use, which personal use is prohibited, but there are situations where, in case, say, an employee takes their vehicle home because that's part of their job, like on-call employees, for example, where they need to take their vehicles home and they need to make very non-routine stops on emergency basis, that would be allowed or authorized by the city manager if they need to make stop. It does specify the personal use as well. There's a section on there where for example, other than city employees or authorized personnel to ride in vehicles, for example, family members would be authorized on a case by case, depending if they're traveling with the employee. They would have to complete a form, which we already do. They would have to complete a form to be able to ride along with the employee for a training. It would have to be authorized by the city manager before that happens.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Any more questions or concerns? We're gonna see the policy, the official policy and everything beforehand. No? Okay, good. Proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marty. Item number 2D, discussion of possible direction of staff and all matters regarding the implementation of a recycling program in the city of San Luis, Arizona. Councilmember Gloria Torres, and Elogio Vera. Mr. Elogio is not here?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council. Yeah, Mr. Logio is not available today, but I'm here on his behalf to answer any questions that you may have.
Yes, Mayor, I brought this issue up because I brought it before. I think I talked to Elogio before, long time ago, about recycling program. And I think it is good that our people that we can educate it and can do with recycling. There's a lot of bottle, there's a lot of thing, and this is because the environment that, and I think I get it all, and I see a lot in the news that the environment is hurting our heart. And I have been talking to Omar Velasquez for a long time, and I brought a lot of bags of bottles, and we were talking about a program or something that we can do for the city, or I don't know if there's something that we can do. I know that Elogio says one time that it was not, it was it cost to the city. But thinking about environment, I mean, it was good to do that. And another thing that that I think that in Los Alamos is doing that, it was doing recycling, isn't? And Los Alamos and another place of the city.
And Los Jardines was the other part. Yeah. Yeah. Could you
And
give
how are
us,
they doing? I mean, they're,
we stopped that program, did we?
So the program, so that is correct. So Los Alamos and Los Jardines started as a pilot program for recycling back in 2018. What the city started doing back then, Somerton had their recycling facility. And there was an agreement between both municipalities for the city of San Luis to take all recyclable materials to their facility. As soon as COVID hit, they shut down their facility. So we stopped the recycling program and we're no longer delivering recyclables to the city of Somerton facility.
Prior to COVID, how was it going? Because it started in 2018. COVID didn't hit us till 2020.
That is correct, Mayor. Based on the information that I was able to gather, it was pointing to be a successful program, given that the city wasn't paying a fee for delivering those materials. Basically, we're offsetting, taking those materials to a landfill and paying tipping fee for that. During this little research I put together for this presentation, we reached out to the different recycling companies out in the Yuma area. Like we reached out to Yuma Recycles, SA Recycling, Mission Waste, and CND, and none of them will take our recyclable materials. The reason is some of them only take metal. Others won't take cardboard because of the price. But the common idea between them not taking the recyclables from a municipality is that it's got a lot of potential for mixture with regular trash. And they don't have the manpower to sort them out and put the hours and the labor. We reached out to Republic Services, which is one of the biggest recycling company here in the area. We didn't get a response from them, but we do know that they work with the city of Yuma. The city of Yuma does take their recycling material to them. And last time we checked with the city of Yuma, they were paying about $28 a ton for recycling.
Mhm.
So there's a fee associated with the program. But yeah, we can, if it's a direction, we can move forward and finding options to be presented before council, and give you more options for this
If-
service to be.
Let me
provided.
interrupt you real quick. If my memory was right, there was an initial investment cost of maybe 450,000 for the containers and everything else. Is the city willing or available to spend 450,000 for the equipment for the required to start such a big program in the city?
If the city would like to start a program citywide in recycling, just based on the current pricing that we're getting for containers, which is more than 95-gallon containers, similar to the residential trash containers that we have for residents. The initial cost just for containers will be around the $500,000 mark.
$500,000 mark, okay.
Yes, sir.
And how much would it take for us to replace that 500,000?
Or I can say that our solid waste fund, it's right on the edge of red numbers.
Exactly. That was my biggest concern. We should look into it. I honestly, we should have, I mean, I've gone to like 3 different cities in California and they all have recycling. And the thing is, it's very viable. We should have one. But we also need to look at the cost effectiveness. But I also, when they were doing the recycling, I was asking Mr. Logio regarding were people putting the right stuff or the right recyclables. What I heard was they were finding toilets, they were finding recycled oil, they were finding tires, they were finding like palm trees in the recycling bin or in the containers. So that was becoming an issue also. So not only is it's providing or buying the equipment, but also an education process. It's probably going to take a year, 2 years to do, but it's very viable. And I agree, Ms. Torres. I agree with that.
Well, the California issue, I mean, it's hard to compare us to the cities in California because obviously they see value in it because they have the tags on the can, soda and all that stuff, cardboard. How did we, and I think that's having issues here with the recycling companies wanting to do it because they don't see value in it as well. Fortunately, that hopefully will be changing. I know that on the county, there's a company that's looking to come in and open a large recycling facility next to the landfill to receive the trash and recycle and work with the landfill. This company is coming out of Las Vegas, so that's hopefully be built out in 2 years. So that would be a big help. My question is, how did we go with that test pilot? How much kickback did we get on people when they lost the second, because they lost the pickup day, right? And I know that was one of the concerns. Did we get a lot of kickback on that, or people just got adjusted to it, or?
So it goes back to what the mayor mentioned about getting used to it and educating the customers on the pickup for trash and pickup for recycling. So the current normal pickup, it's 2 times a week for your trash can.
Right.
And what we did when we had the program for recycling, it was 1 day allocated for trash and the second day allocated for recyclables. We had the curve of pushback, but I can say that the customers at the end of the day got used to it. But we always had that comment that 1 day wasn't sufficient for trash.
Well, that's my next question. Because we pick up trash twice a week. Most communities only pick up like once a week. Now, we're going to do three pickups a week?
No, it was, you were losing the one pickup for the other pickup.
Okay, so we'll be losing one. Okay, so that's an interesting concept right there, because we were so used to twice a week. But it's a learning curve. There is a process.
Yeah, it's education.
Yeah, but yet, can we use the same equipment?
Right, so yes, the answer to that is yes, we were using the same trucks, the side loaders. The difference is on the first 2 days of the week, we were collecting trash. Wednesday, we don't have routes, so for the solid waste employees, will take care of their trucks, clean them, prepare them for recyclables, to not be dirty. And then Thursday and Friday were the recycling days, by using the same trucks.
Because we are growing, and those figures that you told me were based on 2018 figures. Now, 2022 figures, we are bigger.
So yeah, back then with the program, we had 679 containers on the pilot. We currently have 7,558 trash containers out there for residents. So the difference will be 6,800 containers, averaging the $500,000 mark per.
To
Okay.
to bring containers to all of the residents. And this is not including the new subdivisions coming in, which are being started 11 and 12, and then Mesquites 1, 2, 3, and 4 sections, nor including Bellas del Desierto too.
That was my next question. With all this added on residential, is the 5-day week, because you're saying you take Wednesdays off to prepare, would that help or
Yeah.
hurt you guys?
So we will still keep the Wednesday without a route. And the reason we do that is for maintenance to the equipment and the trucks. But I can say that we already added an additional route to our regular trash pickup so we currently have 5 routes that we distribute between Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday. But Wednesday continues to be our off day from routes for maintenance of the vehicles and equipment.
Interesting. Look into it.
Jorge, did you never talk to Omar Velasquez regarding, because he was the one that I talked to every time, and he was excited about a program but he put me this way. He said that the equipment that they needed, it was not cost a lot, and it was even you can put a person that can do that. Something he told me something that it was not too complicated to do.
Costly or
I don't
complicated.
know if you ever talked to him. He was very exciting to do that program. And even he was planning to do a presentation for me. And, but when he moves to the school, he has a lot of a lot of things to do. And he said that he was not able to come to this meeting. And I asked him to come to this meeting and he's not be able to. But I don't know, he told me something about recycling but send it to Mexico. I don't know. Probably if you talk to him, probably we can do something. I don't know.
So yeah, Mr. Velasquez is a busy man, but I did get the
Mhm.
opportunity and I reached out to him. I gave him a call just to pick up on his brain and his idea. And what he mentioned to me is that there's this company from Mexico that will buy the recycling material from us. The difference between us collecting from our residential customers and taking it to a landfill or to a recycling facility here in Yuma, like we were doing back then with the city of Somerton, is that his idea was to set up stations or containers on strategic places of the city and have the customers come to drop cardboard or plastic or trash. But then in order for this company to pick up the materials, and I'm just going off of what I heard from Mr. Velasquez, I didn't get the opportunity to speak to the company. They will want a completely compressed wrap packet ready to pick up and go. So
We can
it will-
negotiate that.
It will fall back on the city to.
We can negotiate that because one, there are 2 companies in Mexico. They do business in California. They have license to actually, they do all the importing and exporting. I spoke to Mr. Velasquez actually a couple of years ago. And these 2 companies are interested. They will take care of that.
Okay.
Okay, we will give them the raw product. I mean, it's raw product. And the thing is, right now, any kind of metal it's very recyclable. And that's why a lot of people, but they also do cardboard.
Right.
That's when they do. But see, it would be much cheaper to go with them because they already have the installations in Mexicali and they get the recyclables across the border in Mexico. I mean, in the California area. So it would be easier for us. There's less restrictions. So in that aspect, I would recommend you talk to Mr. Velasquez. I believe it's 2 engineering firms. I actually met them both.
Okay.
And-
So
and-
yeah, that's an option that really, we're willing to continue to explore that direction
Mhm.
and bring options for council and mayor.
I would recommend we recommend it. I recommend, we proceed with it unless anyone is against it.
It doesn't hurt to find that information.
No, I think it's very viable and I commend you, council member. And let's look into it. Speak to Mr. Velasquez. He has the contacts. And I believe they're both engineers from Mexico. Okay.
Will do, Mayor.
Okay.
But
Mm,
I want to add a comment. So if Somerton's plant is closed now, they don't recycle anymore?
They're not recycling
They're not
anymore. They were pretty much relying on inmates to conduct their operations.
Okay.
And when COVID started, inmates were not longer available to
For the
participate.
recycling.
So they haven't, I guess they're on the same stage as we are, trying to seek other options.
So I mean, I know it's gonna be a big financial impact for the city to purchase 500,000 worth of containers, but we also need to consider option number two and not only talk to Mr. Velasquez and go off that company from Mexico, but I think that it's something that we need to really put a priority into, and even though it's not gonna be I mean, it's not gonna compensate for what we're gonna pay initially. We don't have to look at it as a moneymaker to the city. More than anything, it's a service we're providing to our community, and not just to our community, we're also providing it to the world. We're taking care of Mother Nature, so by recycling. So I think you guys need to go and also look into how can we start recycling next fiscal year. Can we put it in the budget and all that stuff for it to happen maybe July, August, and start getting those containers in, or what can we do? Not just go with let's talk to Mr. Velasquez and that other company. So that's my 2 cents, because I think that it's something that is needed. I come from Phoenix. When we were little, we were told this is recyclable, this is not recyclable, and we knew what we put in the blue bin, we knew what we put in the green bin. And if we didn't put what we were supposed to put in the green bin or the blue bin, we got a little fine by the city of Phoenix saying you are throwing trash in the recyclable bin, and they would send the pictures, and there was like a little ticket issued to your house because it was like a citation kind of thing because you weren't following with the policy, the resolution or something like that. That's what I was told. I don't know if that's true, but you know, when they tell you can't turn on the light when you're a little kid in the car because the police is gonna pull you over. So I don't know if that's how they implemented the fear in us that we had to recycle properly. But I mean, we can always look into that too. So, I mean, it's
And
different
then-
alternatives. So that way you guys can come back to council and present different options.
Of course.
I think that's what Mr. Jorge is also saying, that he's waiting for Republic, because if they're the ones servicing for Yuma, once you get that call back from them, you'll be able to get that more information from their program and how they're working with Yuma. So look at all options, like Mr. Cabrera is saying, but I think that's what he meant.
That is correct, Councilmember Rosales and Councilmember Cabrera. One of the options in brainstorming I actually spoke with one of the managers from the city of Yuma that runs the solid waste department. And once I heard back from Republic, we're gonna try to negotiate with them something maybe that they can help us with the upfront cost of putting up the containers, if it's an option. with them.
That's a negotiation part where we.
And I just talked about the money making machine that the enterprise fund is not considered to be a money making machine, but
None of the
instead-
departments,
instead of-
none of the departments are money-making
None of the
machines.
departments.
Let me clarify that. None of the departments.
That-
And that particular one is in the red.
That is correct, Mayor. And I was just gonna
Yeah.
mention that all of the enterprise funding or funds are to be just self-sustainable. They need to be able to operate and maintain their own them without making profit.
Look into the viable options. We want to recycle, but we also need a city to run. So, and we're not going to subsidize like we did for water before. So look into it and give us our viable options. Okay.
Will do, Mayor.
Another question, Jorge, sorry. Do we still use the prisoners to do some works on the city, or then they didn't do it anymore?
So we, in Public Works, we haven't been using inmates lately or after COVID. The reason, first, it went back to the state not letting them out for health reasons. And then after we heard back from them, they were sending 1 or 2 people, which turned out that we had to put staff to work with them and oversee them. And it wasn't as productive for us to pull some of our staff members to oversee inmates. So we opted to wait a little bit more and see if we can get at least 4 or 5 inmates to make a crew that will help us. But I do know that they're being assisting the department, the Parks Department. So in general, as a city, we're using them in the Parks Department at this time.
Okay, thank you.
So we have direction to look into it and give us proposals. And also, not only is cost effective, but we also need an educational process. And that will definitely make this successful if it's gonna work.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
And then on just a thought that came to mind, I know there's also a lot of money for the thing, for like recycling and taking care of water and all that stuff too. So maybe we can look into like if there's grants available for municipalities to begin recycling program. So that's another option that we can seek for this project to come to life.
Of course.
Thank you.
thank you. Vice Mayor, any comments?
I know it's a great idea to have a recycling program because, I mean, everybody's been asking for it and we should provide it, but it's good that we're bringing this back to the table. Thank you, Torres, for bringing this up. I know that we've been asked before, and the thing is that we just have to go and follow through, you know, like you mentioned, you're waiting for Republic for the estimate, and it's a good thing to start. I mean, we did it before, and we hope that our residents get educated about recycling programs because it is hard, you know, it is hard for them to understand those matters, but we'll get through if we bring it to them.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
So
move,
moved.
Mayor.
Second.
There's a motion, there's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. Have a good night. Take care.